Well, I find this very, 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 very sad. Very sad. Very, very, very sad. Very sad. Very sad that this is what our world has come to. And what's quite interesting is clearly a lot more people are pushing the barriers and the boundaries today in UK, because we haven't done like a 3-week lockdown with everybody sort of in their homes and treating this like a serious virus. Is it a serious virus? Yes, it's killing people and it's sweeping. I suppose if you think of having a bug, so say you got diarrhea and vomiting, right? So you get a bug and you start being sick. You have to starve a fever, feed the flu, I think it is. I'm not medical in that way, so I don't know. I'm just using it as a metaphor, an analogy. But if, say, you've got diarrhea and vomiting and you just throw up and you think, oh, I'm going to have a bar of chocolate, you're going to have the shits and diarrhea again later, because you really do have to starve it for 24 hours. And it's only by starving that bug does that bug go away and you get up and it was just a 24-hour bug or a 24-hour flu. We've all been hit with flu and with some form of bug at some point in our lives. Every single one of us has had vomiting and diarrhea at some point in our lives. And we hope to God that it's nothing more than a 24-hour bug. But the only reason that it is a 24-hour bug is because we have been taught that the moment that we show symptoms of a bug, that we have to starve it. And they say maybe some water, maybe some dry toast. But for those that do continue with the water and dry toast, end up prolonging it a bit longer. It's exactly the same with what's happened. We got warning from China back in December about this because of the internet. The internet actually gave us the chance to know that it started in China back in December with the first ever case that went down in China. Can we turn around to the UK and say, what a bunch of fucking sloppy wankers the UK is? Like, what a bunch of sloppy wankers. We should be led by a leader that we all respect, for a start. That when our leader turns around and says, Russia's just hit the nuclear weapon, our country's just gone to war, we the people go, okay, Boris Johnson, what are we going to do? Boris Johnson says, right now, I don't want anyone on the streets. I don't want any risks. I just want you all in your buildings. I just want you to go home, watch telly and just chill out while we decide what to do. So we go, cool, Boris, no problem. We listen to you. No problem. But then we start saying, but hang on a minute, because if the bombs come down, they don't just hit the streets, they hit the houses, and we're in our houses. So is it better to be out in the streets, or is it better to be in our houses when the bombs come? Because a bomb doesn't make a decision by whether or not you're in the street or out in the house. A bomb comes and it hits you wherever you are. Well, Boris Johnson can't turn around to you and say, look, guys, we're in a war because both the UK and both America refused to sign the One World Agenda. Australia agreed to it, and many other countries around the world. If I had the document in front of me, then I could list off which countries agreed to sign into it. Obviously, Donald Trump's come along for America and gone no. And then obviously we've had people coming in. David Cameron was obviously one of the first ones to sort of go, look, we're not agreeing to this. And then Theresa May's tried doing it, and Boris Johnson. And obviously we don't know whether he's sick, whether he's not sick. Is he going to get sick? By law, when a president or prime minister is sick, then the deputy has to step in and take charge at this time. We all know that in many other films, it always turns out that it was the corrupt deputy that stepped in that knew this in the first place. Are we up against a man-made virus? Or are we up against the book of Revelations where the Lord would send his locusts and his things, and are we in those times? Or are we just in a particular point in time? Has the fear been portrayed through the media? but the fact that the panic has created this. But 4 years ago, people of entrepreneurs were telling people to prepare for the virus. Even someone like me was saying we've got to prepare for the borders being closed. Everybody knows something's not right about this. Some of us know somebody who's got the virus. Some of us don't know anybody who's got the virus. Some of us think this is really silly. Some of us think this is stupid. Some of us want to protect our families, and some people are scared. The social worker has been on the phone today, and child protection has now been put to video links on WhatsApp. So basically now they will have a video of every single child on child protection. I don't agree to this. There's some good stuff coming out of what is going on. There's some beautiful stuff coming out of it. But we're all distracted by technology. We're all distracted by the latest trainers. We're all distracted by whether our bra and knickers match when we go to the doctors. We're all distracted by what car we want to drive. I'm in the parent area, guys. Look at this. Because parents have been told that if their children are out... Now, I know that this is more about irresponsible parents that are letting their 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-olds go out and hang on the park and on the streets. If children are out with their parents doing basic shopping, they will not be getting police intervention and signposts. It's not about that. If Boris Johnson had told you back in January that there was a bionic warfare and that there were man-created diseases. One, it makes pharmaceuticals a lot of money. China's making a lot of money distributing. They've already got the printing stuff ready. Yeah, they are the Trojan horse, per to say. They're already printing the masks out, the gloves, distributing the cure, distributing the immunization to this. Money, trade. How much do you want for a cure? You got a problem, I want to fix it. Well, I got a problem right now. I need someone to get into my storage unit. I need someone to help me carry my stuff down to storage. And I need the time to write my book. And I've got things that I need to be doing. So we live in a world now, like when I got the puncture on my tyre. You've either got to do it yourself, and it might take you longer. It might be frustrating. Some days you might feel like you can't do it. Some days you might feel like you can, and then you're banging your head against a brick wall and you're tired. And some days you might feel like you just can't. There's nothing you can do about it. You just can't. But because you know it's just you have to. Because either it's not going to get done. But it's tiring. Or you can have the finances to get on your phone or ring up the RAC and go, I've got a puncture, can you come and change it? And they go, what, you can't change the tyre? You go, well, I have EDS and I've got dodgy hands and I can't be arsed with it and I really don't want to break a nail and I'd like someone to come out and change my tyre for me and I don't care whether I've got to pay 60 quid, 100 quid, 150 quid, 250 quid. I got a problem and it needs fixing and it's going to cost this amount to fix that problem. I want to get back on the road and I want to sit in my car safely knowing somebody's just changed my tyre for me. Or you've got family and friends that you can ring and say, I can't change my tyre myself. And these are the reasons that I can't change my tyre. Or not even that you can't do it. You just don't fucking want to. You can't be ash. You've got something else that you could be better doing. Same with gardening. Some people love gardening. Some people want to pay a gardener. Some people love cleaning. Some people would rather have a cleaner. Some people love doing their own cleaning. But they don't have time because they're a working mum. So the time it takes to run the house is time taken away from making money. Like now, I now have the last, what am I on? 12 quid now. So 12 quid in my bank now. So If I don't work, I don't make money. If I don't provide a service to somebody, I don't make money. So if there isn't a problem out there for me to fix, I don't make money. But what do I charge to somebody on their ass in trauma, just been raped, just been abused, just had their kids taken, completely emotionally battered? How do you turn around and invoice someone for that? Just like somebody with a coronavirus right now. We got a cure, we got a cure, we can fix you, we can make you better, but we want you all to die because we're overpopulated. If you can afford it, you can have the cure. So get in your money, get your cash cards out and pay for your cure. That's so cuntish. That's so bad. So basically, milk your own cow, buy your own cow. But if you do have a cow, then the king and the queen of the country and the prime minister are going to come and take 3 buckets of your milk for every bucket that you make. So not only have you got to distribute and milk your cow for yourself, so you've got to milk the cow and put all the hard work in to milk the cow to get enough milk out for yourself and your family. You've also got to milk the cow to make sure that you got enough to make sure they've got enough milk. Yeah? So you've got to go to work to make sure that their electric is paid for, their roofs are put over their heads. I'm talking about the Queen here. I'm talking about the royals. I'm talking about Parliament. I'm talking about the people that are serving our country. I'm also talking about the NHS. I'm also talking about the police. I'm talking about social services. I'm talking about adult and children. I'm talking about the education system. So people who are in the private sector that are going to work to keep these people's wages in payment. So they have a wage to go to work because someone has to pay them. The people who are going to work here from Asda, the director of Asda is paying them. So the director of Asda, his profit, so the money that he's working to run all of these people from Asda, I don't actually know what it is at the moment, but basically he's responsible for the people in his employment. So he's responsible for their wages that they then take home to keep their roof on their heads and their bills paid for and their TV licence. So Jimmy Savile and other people don't rest his peace in peace. But so they can rape children and pillage children and offshore children. And we can keep this cycle going. So I've always said to the campaigners on this side, it's no different than what they've just done to us, They're going to keep feeding this system. They're going to keep feeding this abuse. And it's like the flu. You've got to starve it. And the only way to starve it is to remove yourself from the system. And the only way to break the system is to not feed the system. Don't give it your traumas. Don't give it your challenges. Don't give it your problems. And become self-reliant with a really good support network of people around you who know you, understand you, and know what you're trying to achieve. Instead of distracting you with TikTok and all these other things that make you not realise that this is a war and they're using these sort of things because we're going into a biotechnical humanoid world. Humanoids already exist. The crossing of human and robot has already started. Fact. Scary, but true. We, as a British country, even here in Portsmouth, our MP and Chief Executive of Portsmouth should be locking them gates down now and going, sorry, mate, we're Portsmouth. You get back to your own council. Don't step into our place. If you work here, you're welcome to come here. But we would actually rather now build this from people here in this community. So nobody comes on the island, nobody comes off the island. And we are shutting people down and we are isolating people. And rather than this, they just deliver the food and actually just pack it for people properly as well and deal with it as we need to deal with, because prevention is better than cure. But we don't live in a world that does that. We wait until things go wrong and try to do crisis management. Hence why everything comes from a crisis point of view. It should never be about crisis management. When a child poos a nappy, a mother knows that with a 50-50 chance that when you open that nappy, it isn't just going to be a nice plop, that you can do a nice little wipe on it and change the nappy. Sometimes you're going to open that nappy and the shit is going to be up their back and it's going to be over there, and you can't go out shopping without having a spare vest, because it's the time you go out without the spare vest that they shit up the back of them and you're stuck in a situation where you've got to try and change your child's clothes in a shitty situation. So it's better to prepare to have them extra spare of clothes. And that's what we need from this country. That when Boris Johnson turns around and goes, look, a virus has just hit us, we've got to lock down for 24 hours. We can do this in 24 hours if we all just go. Everybody knows that 24 hours has been paid for by your boss, because government have released a payment to make sure it was okay, because he's asked us to do that. Everyone's just gone sick pay for 3 weeks or whatever, and it's fine. And we don't have the panic and we don't have the scaremonger, because we have great leadership, not control. This is control. This is not people working in co-symbioticness and harmony and co-creating with each other. This is people being dictated to and told what to do and how to do it, and following orders through fear and control. It's not good, guys. Not good. This can only go to a dark place. So now we've got to care and have community, and yeah. FedEx is still working, or he's just using his work van. He's got his kid with him, so he's probably just using his work van, making the most of it. So yeah, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I got some shopping. I'm now officially out of money. And yeah, I haven't even got my websites up, so I'm really screwed right now. But forever forward. Keep moving forward. But yeah, some of us have been trying to social isolate for many years, and it's quite nice not having people bumping into me. But what works for me doesn't always work for everybody else, does it? So, yeah. You know, we should social isolate and then have our own inner community. And they're the people that really know us and really love us and really cherish us. And everybody else is meant to be, we're brothers and sisters in Christ. But if we can't help, then don't hinder, and be polite and let people get on with their own lives, putting their own lives in order, and realising that we can't all just be put in a box, and we are individuals. And equality isn't about us all having the same stuff. It's actually about us being able to live differently. So, because we're different. We're all different. We're all unique in some way. We all have a different role, a different structure. Serious, I can't believe, and I shouldn't have to go through the front of a queue just because I've got a hidden condition, and it's lovely and it's nice that I don't have to stand out there. But I shouldn't have to pull that card to avoid being in that situation. I just think it's crazy. But polarity, hey, where there's good, there's bad. We've got to look at the good, but shine a light on the bad. But not in a fear-mongering way that creates what's happened with the big outrage and shopping that's completely screwed everybody up for the new financial year. Which probably means we can all go bankrupt and just start again, can't we? So anyway, I'm watching this manicness, because actually you've got people getting in a taxi and people are being told to travel one by one as well. So wow, if I had this level of campaigning, hey? If I could reach the mass this way. But I'm just little old gag me down here. My reach doesn't get that far. People don't share my posts. I tend to be the one that people just watch But it's about time I had somebody to defend me in my life now, because I am sick and tired of standing up for myself. So I'm going to be calling in all EDS people now for all of this, that enough is enough. We're not criminals, and we shouldn't be treated like criminals by a child protection service. And it's about time now that this made them realise that if a mum is in hospital sick with this virus, and dad is maybe sick with it as well, you can't just take the children and forced adopt them, because they might get well. They're not dead yet. You can't adopt their children out yet. They're not dead yet, Social. Don't get excited now, Social. Don't be getting your fingers running thinking all these dead parents, you can force adopt their kids now. Doesn't work like that. Bye, guys.